Okay guys, so this small tutorial is simply to show you how to make the wooden part of your maze game, the MDF base. So what you need to do is go new in the corner, and it's very important that you select metric and standard part, okay, and then we click create. And that'll open up a new file for us. Okay, so first of all we need to develop a 2D sketch. The way Inventor works is that we're constantly manipulating between 2D and 3D to get what we want. So first of all, 2D sketch, I'm going to select this one here. And first of all we need to draw the shape that we want. Now the MDF base is a square, and to draw a square we have to select this rectangle icon here, and you can just draw it wherever you like to begin with, because we will add the sizes a second. So to add the size, I click the line and then I click again, and when this box comes up here I can enter the measurements in. Okay, so let me just show you that again. I click dimension tool here, I click the line and I bring it up and click again, and I can hit in the measurements now. So I know it's 120 by 120, and what happens is sometimes it looks like your drawing has disappeared, but if you use the roller on your mouse, or you can press this button here, it zooms out to show you where your drawing is. So sometimes if it feels like your drawing's disappeared like this, you can just zoom out like that and see it again, and then we add a dimension here. So we have the square how we want it now. Okay, so now we've finished with that, we want to give that some volume. We want to turn it from this empty 2D drawing into a 3D sketch. And the way we do that is we have to, first of all, tell the computer that we've finished the sketch. And one way you can do that is up here where it says finish sketch. Sometimes people find it easier and quicker to just quickly right click and do it that way. So there's two ways you can do it there. You can finish sketch here, or you can just right click and say finish sketch. Now we're going to extrude that and add volume to it. Now because that's the only shape on the page, the computer already knows that's what we want to add mass to. And so the thickness of the MDF wood we're using is 9mm. So I'm going to type in 9 there. We press OK, and there's our part. And then we're just going to bring that to surface. Now this navigation tool is really good to get used to, just to play around with. And also if you use a mouse, it's a lot easier because you can roll in and out using the roller on the mouse. But this is also pretty good to help us just manipulate our drawing however we want. So whenever you get something drawn 3D when you're starting off, it's good just to use these tools, just to play around with the viewing options, to get used to how we can manipulate our drawing. Right now I'm going to put it home like that. Now what I want is I actually want the top view, so I can just rotate it that way. And this is what I want now. So what we're going to do now is draw the holes in the corners for our screws to go in, because what we'll eventually be doing is using screws to attach a sheet of acrylic to our MDF base. So now that we want to do that, we need to then create a new 2D sketch. And now we need to select the face we want that on. And now you'll see this toolbar changes to 2D mode again. So it was in 3D mode, as you can see here, but when I create a new sketch, it then turns it into a 2D mode, okay, so it gives us these drawing tools. What we need to do first of all, because we want to draw our holes right in the corner here, offsetted from the edge, we need to use what's called construction lines. So if we highlight construction, and now anything we draw will turn up dotted. And these aren't solid lines, we can't do anything 3D to these lines, but they just help us draw. And what we're going to do is I'm going to use that now to simply scaffold where I want my circles for my holes. Okay, so the way we do that is we use the dimension tool. And now we're going to, instead of measuring the distance of a line that way, we don't want that. What we want to do is measure the distance between these two lines from here to here, and I'm going to click again, and now it gives me this measurement, and now I can change that. So I want to make it 10 millimeters all the way around. So if I keep repeating this process all the way around, from there to there, or from there to there, I now have my construction line at 10 millimeters all the way around the inside of my wooden piece, if you like. And right now, that's just to set it up for me to be able to draw my circles in. So now I want to draw some lines that I actually will manipulate in 3D. So I need to take it off construction line. I deselect this. Now I'm going to select circle. And using the roller of the mouse, if I put my pointer over here and use the roller, I will zoom straight in on that point, which is really useful because I can quickly zoom into really specific areas. So now, because I want to draw a circle here, I can just click here, and whilst that's highlighted, I know it's 4 millimeters. I'm going to do that 4 times in each corner. So I'm going to just keep rolling out with my mouse, with my roller, and zoom in to the corners where I want to draw these circles. Okay, and that's all I need now. So now I'm ready to turn that into to extrude those circles through, so I can finish sketch. And now, whenever you're doing anything 3D, I always recommend you tilt your work so you can see it in 3D, not just on a 2D axis. Because sometimes when it's 2D, you can't see things so well. I'm just going to get this viewed ready. There we go. Now I'm going to extrude. And I want to now extrude these holes. So again, I can use my roller and I can zoom in. Now, if you want to select multiple things, you have to hold down the Shift key, which is the one on your keyboard with an arrow just above the Control key. And that allows you to select multiple things. So you can see now I've selected both of these things. You can just about see the one here and then here. There we go. So I've got all 3 selected now, and I just need to do this one. Now we want to actually cut this material, and we don't want to add it here. So in the extrude window here, if we select the other direction we want it to go below the work plane, it will actually take the material away. And then we press OK, and voila, there we have our holes in our MDF base already done. Now it's very important whenever you are in 3D mode that you save. You can't save in 2D mode, so you have to make sure you're in 3D mode. And now I'm going to save this just in my Google Drive, in my Inventor Maze game. And there we go. Now then, the last thing we need to do is give our material a texture. Now, in the Tools tab, whilst you're in 3D mode, you can select the Tools tab in Materials. And if you search for MDF, nothing shows up. But strangely, if you search for medium density fiberboard, which is what MDF stands for, there is a material in the database called that, and it will we'll be able to give our 3D block that texture and that material. For a moment. Oh, that's showing. There we go. And now if I select this arrow here, it'll add the material to the component, and now we have our component in the texture and style that we wanted. And that's our wooden base. So there we go. Now if you want to be quite clever about it, you can duplicate this file and make that your acrylic sheet also. And the way we do that is if we go File, Save As, I can then call this acrylic sheet and save that. And now if I change this and save over this version of it, it will I'll have 2 separate files. One will be my MDF base and one will be my acrylic sheet. Now with that done, what I can do, the great thing about this navigation window here is that I can change things that I've done in the past here. So this is my first extrusion where I made the square into 9mm thick MDF, and this was where I've done the holes. Now if I double click on this extrusion, the extrusion window comes up again. And if I change the information in here, you might see that the drawing previews showing those changes. Now I'm going to change this to my sheet of acrylic, which is 3mm thick. And now what I need to do is change the material. So here we have some clear acrylic. We can preview that on the model and see how that looks. And there we go, there's our clear acrylic. Let's try that one. And then we close that down, and now we have our clear acrylic material. Now, sometimes some of the materials aren't so clear, so what you can do is, I've actually found in the past that the material underwater works really, really well at being transparent. So we can use that one. And that works well also. Basically, we can make our acrylic sheet transparent as best we can, and then once we assemble our drawing later on, you'll be able to see your theme design through the clear acrylic sheet. Okay, I hope that helps. Thank you.